Okay, these are VM34 Mikuni carburetors on a 1988 Polaris Indy Trail 488cc motor. And sometimes these can be on there pretty good, and it might take a little bit to get it started. Okay, I've got the cap started finally. So we unscrew the top to remove the piston slide. Once it's off, it should slide right up straight out of the carburetor, nice and gently. You don't have to bend it either way, wiggle it around too much. So here's the piston, and here is the slide needle. Okay, that coincides with your main jet, and it's tapered, so the higher up this piston goes, the more air it lets in. The taper of the needle lets more fuel in along with the air. That's how it's designed to work. Now inside, besides this spring and the cable, you'll see there's a slot down in the bottom that the cable slides into. And let's turn it around again. Here's a better angle for a view of it. The cable slides towards the center. If you slide the cable towards the outside, it'll go up through the hole and release from the piston. And that's only if you want to change the piston completely. If you don't, then you really don't want that to let go. So the best thing to do is turn the piston so the slot is on the bottom, and gently pull the slinky coil spring up out of the piston. Let it rest against the side of the piston, but try not to put too much pressure on the cable. You don't want to snap the cable. You just want it to keep from sliding out the slot on the side over here, okay? Once you do that, try to hold it with one hand, the spring and the piston in one spot. It's going to fight you. But when you get it to a certain spot, push up slightly, gently on the needle jet here, and it'll lift up a little cover that's down in the bottom. Once that cover comes up, you can get it out of there. You might need to jiggle it around a little bit. And the cover has a little lip on the bottom of it, and that goes down inside the groove, the slot, to keep the cable from sliding out on its own. So remember that. Put that little tab down in that slot when you're done. Set this aside somewhere safe. Now we can slide the needle up through to remove it, and gently set the piston aside, hoping that the cable doesn't come out the slot. And it didn't. Okay, and let's take a closer look at the needle. Okay, using the seat of the snowmobile as a dark background, here is the tapered needle jet, okay? And if you look in the top here, there are 5 grooves in the top. All right, now if you can see this all right, there's also little stamping on the needle here so that you know whether or not you have a genuine Mikuni needle. All right, now looking at this, I've got the clip. There's a C-clip right here, and it's in the second ring from the top, the second notch from the top. That's the factory position. That's where probably when you take your carburetor apart, the clip will be, which means no one has been in there to mess around with it. If it's in the second groove, that's the factory spot. So the reason there are other rings here, if your machine is running too, let's say too rich, and the only way to know that is by looking at the spark plugs. I found that out the hard way. I had an awful bog with my machine on about a 30-degree day, and that's when the air density is lower than, say, a 10-degree day, or even closer to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The air is denser, and I did ride it about 80 miles in the single digits last winter with this clip in the third ring position, the third groove, and it seemed fine. But once it warmed up to about 30 degrees, I had a really bad bog situation going on in the mid-range, and that's about from 1/4 throttle to 3/4 throttle, right through half throttle to 3/4. So getting the thing moving, getting the sled moving was quite a chore because it was bogging. And until I found out that I should be reading the spark plug colors to find out whether the plugs, the mix is right on, or if it's too rich or too lean, I thought a bog meant it was too lean automatically. I thought, oh, you only got a bog if it was too lean. Well, I was wrong. You can get a bog if it's too rich also. So remember that. The bog in your machine can be caused either way, either from it running too rich or from it running too lean. And what I had was a too rich bog going on. It was just fueling up the cylinders, the plugs, causing them to not fire like they should, and the machine just had very little power to it at all. And so as I was trying to find a way to give it more fuel by turning the air screws on the carburetors in to close them up a little bit, make it a little richer on the bottom end, I was actually making the situation worse and didn't know it. And when you're out in the middle of nowhere riding your sled and it's bogging, the last thing you want to do is make things worse. So I since learned to read the plugs. I read them. It showed me that the plugs were black and sooty as could be, which meant I was running too rich. So I took the slide pin, this needle, out of the carburetor, out of both carburetors, moved them from the 3rd ring down back to the factory setting of the 2nd ring down, and that leaned the mixture just a little bit for that 1/4 throttle through 3/4 open range, and that's just what it needed. It took right off, no problems whatsoever. So the only time you'd want to change that ring is to adjust for your mid-range power. If it's bogging, read your plugs, see if they're too lean or too rich, and adjust that clip. With the clip towards the higher groove, it would drop it down further, and the wider part of the clip would be in the opening of the main jet. So it'd be less fuel. And as you move this clip down the grooves towards the bottom, it raises it up and the taper gets thinner, which allows more fuel to go in past it through the main jet into the carburetor. So leaner is up higher, richer is down lower. And again, it doesn't really necessarily depend on what you're hearing as far as a bog situation. It depends on what you're reading on your plugs. Okay, really easy way to change this clip position. I know it looks dirty, but I've cleaned the dirt off it, any loose dirt. Try to use a clean area, flat surface. You can set the clip down with the opening of the clip towards the bottom and lay the clip down flat, okay? And then what we'll do is push down on this end of the clip and you'll hear it pop. You hear that? That's the clip popping off the groove, and I can gently lift the clip up now off the pin and then reattach it to any one of the grooves that I want to put it in. What I'm going to do is put it right back into the 2nd groove down, and I dropped it. These are hard to find. If you drop them, I've done it. I haven't lost one yet, but I've come close. So let's line it up with the 2nd groove in the needle. That's the 3rd one there. Here we go. That's the 2nd groove. Push from the back side with your finger. There it goes. You'll feel it snap into place. And give it a rotation. Hold on to the clip and spin the needle. And if the needle spins and the clip is still there, then it should be that because it's all the way on. It's all the way attached where it should be. Okay, can you see that all right? Can we get a focus on that? Okay, so there it is, 2nd groove down. That's the factory position. Okay, what I'm going to do now is attempt to put the needle back in the piston. Let's check the groove location in the bottom and make sure that the cable is pulling away from that opening in the bottom of the groove so it doesn't pop through on us. I've had that happen. It's not fun to try to put the cable back down in there. And let's drop the needle down through the hole in the middle. There it goes. Now that it's at the bottom, we'll put this in. Remember the little lip there, it's got to go down in the groove. So drop that in there, spin it around a little bit. There it goes until the groove, the little flap goes down in the groove there. Now you can put the spring back down in. Okay, now what we do is line up this ramp side so you can see where the idle screw comes into contact with it. That goes facing the idle screw down here. So the ramp, not the slotted side, the ramp side goes to the idle screw. Line up the needle and the piston. Gently start it down in there. You might have to twist it side to side a little bit to get the groove side to line up. Once it does, just like that, it should drop right down in there. And then screw your caps on so that they're good and snug. You don't want these loosening up on you while you're out riding on the trail. So that's one way to tune these carburetors, is by adjusting the needle jet. The other adjustment goes to the air screws themselves. This is the idle screw. It adjusts the speed of the idle of the machine. And down here is the air screw. This mixes air with the primary jet's fuel, how much fuel the primary jet allows to go through. It's a very small jet, not a very big orifice in it, so it doesn't let a lot of fuel in. So what you're adjusting is how much air mixes with that little tiny jet. So we're going to screw it in gently until it stops, and you just need to give it enough pressure to turn it until you'll feel it just snug up on its own. You don't have to gorilla tighten it, you could ruin it that way. So once it stops, the factory starting position is 1 full turn out. So there we go. Okay, once again, turn it in till it stops, back it out, half a turn, and one more half a turn, there's a full turn out. That's where you start. Once you warm the sled up, take it for a ride, take your screwdriver again, and adjust both of those screws a little at a time. You might take each one and turn it a quarter of a turn out and see how the idle changes. Does it go up faster? Does it slow down? If it slows down, turn it back to 1 turn out, then turn it in a quarter of a turn. Does it speed up again, or does it slow down? If it slows down, put it back to the 1 turn out position. You may find that when you're turning these, it may seem a little bit better in between a quarter turn difference. So here's 1 turn out, here's 3/4 of a turn out. Well, you might go split the difference and give it 1/8 of a turn. Okay, but now I'm going to put it back to the 1 turn out. There's 1 turn out position. I'm ready to run the sled now, warm it up, then stop, take the screwdriver while it's idling, and adjust those till they get the fastest idle. That's how you adjust these things. These are very good carburetors. They've been around for a very long time, and when they're clean and all tuned up proper, they're a very good carburetor to keep your machine running. I am on a bit of a downhill slant coming out of the driveway, so if it looks that way, that's why. But time for me to go take this for a run now, warm it up, and then try those screws to see where I can get the highest idle. Good luck with your machine. Thanks for watching this video. Hope it helps.